If you're in the market for a mid-sized SUV, your choice just got a bit harder because after the arrival of the Tata Sierra, the new Gen Kia Seltos, the new Renault Duster, the updated Skoda Kushaq, we now have the updated Volkswagen Taigun. Over this video, I'll tell you all that's changed. This is a facelift and the changes are actually concentrated at its face. Now what you see here are a redone shape of headlights. Now these are full LED units which will be standard across the range. Also new to the lighting treatment is this light bar up front, and now the Volkswagen logo also illuminates. And if you think about it, it has a resemblance to the Tayron, which sits higher up in Volkswagen's lineup. Lower down, you get a new look for the bumper. There's this black cladding, and the version featured here is the top spec GT Sport trim. Not much has changed at the sides. In fact, the only real changes are for the wheel design. Now, interestingly, you get an all black look for GT variant designs and a dual tone finish for the other variants. Also exclusive to the GT variants are rear disc brakes, and the caliper is finished in red. In terms of dimensions, there are absolutely no changes, so the Taigun remains one of the smaller looking mid-sized SUVs, although in wheelbase it is pretty substantial. At the back, the updated Taigun is again identifiable by its updated lighting. Now you continue to get this LED light bar, but the VW logo is illuminated now, and the indicators now get swiping functions, and there's also a welcome and goodbye gesture on the sequential lights. A cool inclusion that we also saw on the updated Kushaq is standard fit rear wiper and defogger, and that's a very important safety inclusion. If you're very familiar with Volkswagen's Taigun, you'll also notice a redone rear bumper. Now, there's no power tailgate, but you do get these struts. No change in boot capacity, which stands at 385 liters. Now, it isn't a very large figure on paper, but when you actually start loading luggage in, you'll find that you can fit in quite a bit into the Taigun. Now, under you get a spare tire, and there's also a subwoofer for the audio system. Now on the inside, the changes appear a bit more comprehensive. Now starting with the driver environment, I really like the steering, really great to hold. These red accents on the steering also do a lot for the look and feel. Then you get larger digital dials. They are now 10.25-inch units, and they cover the full width of the instrument binnacle and look really nice. There are 4 themes which you can toggle between, and I think it does its bit to add some spice to the interior. The 10.1-inch touchscreen remains the same as before, but the UI has been updated, so it's quite nice to use, slick as ever, but the menu and functionality is a bit more up to date. What is important to bring in is that the infotainment unit has been updated with AI integration, so there are a longer list of voice commands. So now you can even control the air conditioning system just using voice. As for other aspects of the interior, well, the climate control console remains unchanged, so it is a touch-based unit. You do get these indents to guide your fingers, but it's not the easiest to use on the go, so I'm guessing those voice functions will be put to greater use. There's also red ambient lighting, which adds that added hint of sportiness to the cabin. Things which remain unchanged are the seats, which are very nice, large seats. And another thing, as before, the driver's seat as well as front passenger seat get power adjust with ventilation. But perhaps more than anything else, the biggest draw on the new Taigun will be the inclusion of a panoramic sunroof, which was a big miss on the earlier car. In terms of safety, the Taigun still boasts a global NCAP 5-star rating. 6 airbags and electronic stability control are standard, while mid-spec variants onwards get front parking sensors. However, advanced driver assistance systems or ADAS are not part of the package. As mentioned already, there are no changes to the Taigun's dimensions, which means rear seat space remains the same. So to recap, you get a good deal of legroom, but this is not a very wide car, so 3 people at the back will be a squeeze. It works perfectly well for 2, and what also adds to the sense of space now is the panoramic sunroof. But if you are familiar with the Kushaq, you'll know that it has a feature that the Taigun oddly doesn't, which is rear seat massage. Now there are some changes to bring up under the hood of the Taigun. Now the 1-litre 3-cylinder turbo petrol TSI engine continues as before. It makes 115 horsepower and as standard comes with a 6-speed manual gearbox. But the 6-speed torque converter automatic gearbox has made way for an 8-speed unit from Aisin. Now the advantage is better efficiency. Volkswagen claims about 5.8% under test conditions. We'll have to see what that actually works out to in the real world, but this is a change that we witnessed on the updated Skoda Kushaq as well, and it did improve performance greatly. The other engine of choice is the 1.5-litre 4-cylinder turbo petrol TSI unit. As before, makes 150 horsepower and gets cylinder deactivation tech, which means the engine can theoretically run on just 2 cylinders under light loads, and the impact of that is greater efficiency. But the main reason to be interested in the 1.5 engine is the power and performance that it delivers. Now, there is not going to be a manual gearbox version for the 1.5 engine. It will only come with a 7-speed dual clutch DSG unit. Now, also another change which is hidden somewhere here is an updated air conditioning system. The new AC uses a variable geometry compressor and it has made a big impact on the cooling efficiency, which is something which we experienced on the updated Kushaq as well. So that's your first look of the updated Volkswagen Taigun. We'll be driving it in the days to come. Prices haven't been announced as yet, but we expect them to be very close to the updated Kushaq, which is in the 10.7 to 19 lakh rupee ex-showroom bracket. What do you think of the updated Taigun? Would it be on your shortlist of mid-sized SUVs to buy? Let us know in the comments. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to the Autocar India channel and hit that bell icon to be notified every time we have a new video up.